All right, Michael. What'd you think of this one, brother? I know. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy John from Project Ellsworth, and I am back with you today to give you my review of the 2005 film Hellraiser, Hellworld. I don't know. Just feeling kind of mellow today. So, Hellworld. Alright, so, in this movie, the Cenobites are either real or they're not real. That's kind of to be determined. Not trying to spoil this movie for you. Alright, so, a group of friends are playing this video game online called Hellworld. In order to get, and there's some rave being thrown by, I guess, the creator of Hellworld or the operator, whatever. He's throwing some big rave party. You got to qualify through the video game to be invited to this rave party. Once you get to this rave party, it's sex everywhere, and it's drugs everywhere, and there's like a big room that appears to be where you're going to go play Hellworld, but that never happens. What's real? What's not real? Are people being killed inside of this rave? Are they not being killed inside of this rave? The party's being thrown by Pumpkinhead, and one of the guests appears to be Pinhead. It's very strange. It wasn't the fastest paced movie in the world either. You know who else was in this movie? Carrie Payton, Ezekiel from The Walking Dead. He's in this movie. Lance Hendrickson's in this movie. Doug Bradley is Pinhead in this movie, and there ain't nobody else in this movie that I think I've ever seen anywhere else before in my life. This movie was strange for me. I don't want to say that I hated it. I don't want to try and give away any more spoilers of this movie. I'm trying to avoid that stuff. So I'll just give you my thoughts on it. It may be worth a watch to you. It definitely wasn't the worst of the Hellraiser movies. But it definitely wasn't I think it's safe to say, after part one, moving forward, I think it's kind of redundant for me to keep saying it ain't the best Hellraiser movie that's been created. Doug Bradley looked great in this movie. There wasn't very much CGI in this movie that I can recall off the top of my head. Maybe one or two scenes that had CGI in it. There were a lot of practical effects, which quite honestly looked pretty damn good. The story was confusing. Again, as all Hellraiser stories seem to be confusing, and the further along in the franchise you get, the more and more confusing these things get. And then when you get to the end of the movie, it all is tied up in a nice little bow, and you ain't confused no more. This movie kept making you think, you know what, I can't say that either, that's a spoiler. It makes you look over here, and then it hits you over here. It's one of those kind of deals where you think you get a grip on what's going on in this movie, and then you lose that grip kind of quickly. It was all right. I mean, this is probably somewhere middle of the road for me in this franchise. The acting was fine, I guess. I mean, towards the beginning of it, I was kind of turned off by some of the acting in this movie. A lot of overacting. If you remember, like a lot of this for me, you know what this felt like to me? It felt very, I Know What You Did Last Summer, very Scream. It felt like it was one of those. It's supposed to be filled with teenagers, but the people are very obviously not teenagers. They're in their 20s. But it's one of those very overacted, very, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Maybe you know what I'm trying to say. Well, you know, I kind of know what I'm trying to say, but I just can't say it. It felt like Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. That's what, not even Scream, because Scream was really good. It felt like Scream sequels and I Know What You Did Last Summer and those movies. That's what it felt like to me. I don't know. Teen movies that ain't got teenagers in it. Whatever. But, like I said, you know, Lance Hendrickson's in this movie, and he ain't nothing. He was Lance Hendrickson. He's the same guy in like everything he's in. He's Lance Hendrickson. You could just cast him and say Lance Hendrickson's in it, and you need to know nothing more about his performance or the movie. He's exactly the same as he is in absolutely everything. He's the same guy he was in Pumpkinhead as he was in this movie. As Alien, as this same dude. Doesn't matter. I don't know. I'm rambling now, I think. This was really not much of a movie review at all. It's just me telling you how I felt about it. Well, I guess that qualifies as a review. I don't know. I think I got one more Hellraiser movie with Doug Bradley in it, and then I'm on to the new guy. But this was all right. I mean, it was nothing to write home about. Very strange seeing Ezekiel in this movie. Young, without dreadlocks. Very strange. Not talking like a knight or somebody like. It's too much. But it was weird to see him in there. It actually took me a couple of minutes to realize why I knew who he was, because he looks so different without them dreadlocks and a little bit of youth on him with no facial hair. If you watch Talking Dead, he's been on there a bunch of times, so he don't have the dreadlocks, but I'm pretty sure you know what I'm saying. All right, check it out. What do you want me to tell you? Formulate your own opinion. I thought this was middle of the road. Wasn't great, wasn't horrible. There was a couple of these movies that were freaking horrible. This wasn't one of them. This was all right. Getting out of here. Leave me some comments down below and let me know if you've seen this movie and if you think it's middle of the road, much like I do. And if you don't think that, let me know what you do think. I'm very curious to see. One guy in the comment section for like Hellraiser 5, I think it was telling me how terrible. I think he said the two that were awful to him were Hellworld, which was this one. I totally disagree. I don't think it was awful. And I think it was Deader, which is the one that is next for me, if I'm not mistaken. So I got high hopes for Deader now because he told me Hellworld was terrible, and I didn't think it was. So maybe Deader won't be. Deader might be better than Hellraiser, the first movie. I have doubts. All right, I'm getting out of here. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video and you've been enjoying my content up to this point, and I really rambled and babbled in this one because there really wasn't a lot to talk about, quite honestly. Whatever. Please do me a huge personal favor. Click that subscribe button and ring that bell, especially if you've managed to hang around this long and you've made it to the end of this video. If you were not subscribed to my channel, something kept you here. Click the damn subscribe button. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a kick-ass day. And thank you for watching, folks. Later.